Hello, this is Daniel Kim from Rsnav, and today we will install a 10.25-inch Android to this Q5 with the Bang & Olufsen and 3G MMI media system. So let's begin. So we will begin from the removing the screen fascia. You need the trim removal tool and pry it carefully, and then it will come out fairly easily. So nothing to worry about, just carefully. So in this case the plastic has been damaged, but it's not a huge problem. Anyway, we'll continue installation. Now we are removing the flasher, and we'll keep the screen fascia aside, and then we remove 4 screws around the screen. Whenever you're removing these screws, make sure they don't fall down back into the screen, because if so, it's very difficult to find them. So we just removed the screen screws, and we need this one for the Audi radio removal keys, and we insert keys like this. If you see carefully, there's a home to push in the radio removal keys, and these keys are easily available at Amazon or even your local car parts store. So we now have removed the 3G MMI device, and before you begin, you may want to shift your shifter onto the driving position, otherwise it could interfere with the 3G MMI device. And make sure there are many connectors behind it. Also, there's some connectors behind these area for these buttons. So often people forget to remove these connectors or reinstall these connectors, and they complain about these things are not working. But just make sure that you know that there's a connector over here as well. And now we are removing the glove compartment. Also, this car is fully equipped with the Bang & Olufsen sound system, so I see 6 CD changer on the glove compartment as well. So for that, we are going to need the Volkswagen Audi remover key again. And there are, as far as I remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws in order to remove the glove box. So make sure that you remove all the screws before you begin the installation. So now we are removing passenger side fuse panel box, and there's a one screw to remove. So until now we have removed about 5, and for older Audi A4 sedans there are like 11, and it seems for Q5 there are much less, which is very good. Usually right below the dashboard airbag there's 2 rows of the screws, so you just want to make sure to remove every screws with 10mm hex nut screwdriver. So it's coming out. And yes, it's coming out fairly easily. It seems there's no screwdriver behind the CD player and deep inside the glove compartment. And also make sure that so we disassembled what is necessary to install our device. Then first of all, 야 지금 한번 끊자. So now we are placing our wire. Now we are disconnecting the screen connectors. There are 2, and the scare one will be no longer used. And now we are removing the LVDS cable for the video signal. And these connectors are kind of tight, so the original screen has been removed. And then we'll pass through the wire. So we'll take out the MMI. There's a quadra connector with latch, so you open up the latch and the quadra connector will be easily removable. And then you push in our main power connector, right side. You put that in and bring it up. It may require some time for you to pass the wire, because in the wire there are 2 small black boxes, which is a bit bulky, so you would have a hard time passing them, but carefully you'd be able to pass the wire. As you can see, our white connector is coming out, and carefully. Now the canvas bypass, which is the male brown plug and the black female plug has been taken out to the club compartment side, and then we are trying to pass more wire in order to get sufficient room. So make sure the wires get enough room, and then install the bypass quad lock. Reroute USB line to glove box compartment, and then insert our bypass quad lock. Make sure there's a ratcheting mechanism engaged properly. So first you bring up the ratch and then lock it down, and then you push back the MMI device onto its original position. In order to put it back completely, you will need to arrange some wire on the behind. Now, as you can see, the emergency flasher is on, so we are turning it off, because now we are about to disconnect the canvas gateway bypass. Make sure nothing is on before you remove the canvas bypass. And then once that's the canvas bypass, and you remove the bypass connector, and then you install it with our bypass. Whenever you are doing this, make sure no pin get bent. They should go in easily and smoothly, and whenever if you feel resistance when you are inserting canvas bypass plug, stop it and look for any bent pin. So that's the process, and then we'll be installing the metal plate for our device. Maybe you can tell him that the USB box may have to be removed to pull the USB wire more. Now we are placing our metal fixture. Make sure enough lengths of the wires. So we are installing the metal plate. And in order to screw down the metal fixture. We are using the audio original screws. At this time, you don't screw down the screws not too tight, because later you may be able to adjust the position of the metal box when you are installing the plastic fixture. So metal fixture installation is complete, and now we'll install our plastic fixture with new hazard flasher button. Don't want. If you see the new hazard button, there's a small button here. So this is, as you can see, our button does not have passenger airbag op indicator marking, but it's compatible with those cars with the marking. So whenever you have the passenger airbag off marking button, leave it pressed. If not, leave it released. Otherwise, you will get an error. So whenever you're getting error, if you have the passenger airbag marking, press this and then clear the code with using Wacom or OBD11, and then the airbag warning will be gone. If you do not have passenger airbag marking, just leave it released. So right now we are transferring the metal clip from the original trim. So in order to have a better fitment, it is important to keep these clips and have them inserted to our clip. And then now you're connecting the So we just connected the flasher line. And then our LVDS converter, and we arrange the wires so that they don't interfere when we install them, and we place the plastic housing nicely. So it goes in fairly nicely, and yeah, everything is well installed. Also, don't forget about the antennas. There are two antennas, like GPS antenna and 4G antenna. Usually you place those antennas here and then you route the antennas down, but for this installation video we'll just leave it on the dashboard. So put the antenna inside and make it out, and here comes our 4G LTE antenna. Also let it out nicely. So there's our power, GPS antenna, 4G antenna, and LVDS for the original car video signal. Make sure you put it on the right direction and plug everything nicely. And finally the main connector. Make sure the main connector slides in fairly smoothly. If you feel any resistance, don't force it. Those pins are easily got bent, and then screw it and then mount it. So that's the completion of the installation, and let's lock and roll. Yes, the device is now booting. So after you have done the installation, the first important process is to go to setting. Let me turn up the radio first. From newer version, we introduced canvas type setting. So you go down there and then you choose the canvas protocol. Well, it's a typo, so we'll fix it later. Make sure for this vehicle B8, make sure Q5 has been selected, and Q3 is for Q3, and A4L is not for the B8 or 8K or 8R cars. These are for B9 cars, I mean the newer Audi, and A3 is for the 8V A3 platform vehicles. So for this car we just remain Q5 and we just make sure everything works. So the MMI controls are working smoothly, and we'll change the car type. These are automatically showing up whenever you are operating with car doors. But if you want to disable it, you go to pop-up message duration setup and make it disabled, and it will. So we have completed the installation. The few settings that you want to do, probably it will be kind of annoying for you, that whenever you are open your car's door, you will be seeing this prompt like this. So in order to prevent this, if you don't want to do that, just go to pop-up message duration and make it disabled. And let me check. The MMI controls are working and the steering buttons are working fine. And another thing that you want to take a look, first of all, if you go to the home button, you might find that the date is not correct. So for that, you will go to settings, and maybe you want to connect to Wi-Fi first. And let me enable my hotspot first. And the Wi-Fi is connected, and the clock will get changed automatically, but still that's not good. You always go to date and time, and you can use GPS provide time, but it will take some time for the system to get the clock right. So whenever you are connected to network, you can use the network provide time, but this time you will use the GPS provide time because it's already getting the GPS signal. And if your time zone is not right, just select the nearest biggest city that you're leaving. Just make sure the time is absolutely right. Otherwise, you might have a bunch of errors. So today is 2019 October 30th Wednesday, which is correct. And then after that, you'd like to run Play Store, log into it, and update all the Google apps to prevent any kind of error messages. So for the Bluetooth, you go to setting, and then you go a little bit down, Bluetooth settings. Just make sure reset the Bluetooth whenever you begin anything, and then you just wait until those dots are disappeared, and then you search for the Bluetooth and look for your Bluetooth. And this is my cell phone, and it's asking the request, and you pair the Bluetooth, and it's connected for the phone call, as well as sooner or later it will be connected for the media as well. Yes, it has been connected, but if you try to play a music, unknowingly you will find that there's no sound coming from the system. What are we missing? We're missing this one. So whenever you are you want to listen from anything from the Android, you need this is audio original interface. So let me go to the audio original interface. As you can see, well, this one is apparently set in Chinese language, but you know the basic principle is okay. So I press the source button, and now as you can see, I don't have external media input here. In order to activate external media input, there's a two-way. You get this and have it plugged into the MMI port over there, and you don't need to connect anything to this part. So let me connect this one. So once you have connected the AMI to aux adapter, you'll be able to see that external audio source is available here. You select this and then go back to Android, and then we'll try to play a Bluetooth music and then see if it plays. So I don't know if you can hear me well. Now I'm playing classic music, and the sound is amazing. This car is equipped with Bang & Olufsen sound system, and the Bluetooth quality is superb. So let me play some fun music. So welcome to Future Life with Rsnav. This has been an installation demo video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks to our Mr. Lee who performed most of the job here, and I am Daniel Kim. Thank you for watching.